candidate, in fact, we can support only grassroots innovators. So if it is, developed by certain institutions, so NIF cannot support it, but some other schemes of DSIR, like that is now closed, but other scheme of DSIR and DST, they are there to support.
The point I'm making is, you said you put up challenge to develop a smokeless fuel efficient.
Yeah.
It's already been developed.
You see, in fact, go to third country, in fact, those advanced smokeless chulhas are not there. Either the cost is too high, people cannot afford it. We want a chulha, which is smokeless, which is efficient, and which is affordable. In a rural area, people could afford it actually. Easy to maintain.
Actually,
no, the point is that, sorry.
I think chula, just an example. We're going in Shodayatra in Araku Valley in the northeastern Andhra Pradesh. In a house we saw, outside the house, she has a chula, open chula with wood, and the top of it there are two holes. One has the intense heat where the firewood is put. The next one is the low heat, which has got the water in it. Then the top of it, she put a bamboo frame, 2 feet, 3 feet high bamboo frame, on which she put some meat or some dhan, which if it is heated, the particles will come faster when you pound it. Then the top of it, the heat is still being used, the flue gas is still being used. At the third level, she hangs the seeds so that they are free of moisture, the seeds stay for a long time. Now, you must look at chulas, not only smokeless, from the perspective of the women, from the village women, how they utilize it is part of their livelihood. All activities should help. We only go for smokeless or fuel efficient, that's not the way. Now, by doing so, she is already reducing the strain on the environment because she is using the fuel to the efficiency which none of the modern stoves can utilize. Maybe 70-80% heat she is using it. So I think when we look at chulas, we must look at not IISc looked at or Astra, must look at the way the Jyoti of Araku Valley looked at it. That's the point.
Yeah, what I was talking.
Another chula only. I want to only one point. Yeah, so even we can take any viewpoint on chula. Maybe multifunctional, may not be polyfunctional, and one can the limitless requirements, etc. There it can be served. So one will have to think of how they viable in their particular context. But the main problem has been the carriers of such as stoves. Even they were affordable. Many of them were affordable. They were not necessarily the ones which were used only by the upper middle class or the they were to be used in normal poor peasant household or agriculture labor household. But since the local potters were not trained or blacksmiths were not trained, and they were not commercializing those particular stoves, they were thought of from a top-down agency approach, where people, some attempt to even train some women and all that to make them locally was there. But we've seen technology transfer always succeeds when you transfer it to a person who's been pursuing related occupation. These are good lessons out of diffusion literature. Because if you're aiming at diffusion as far as this is concerned, then my focus will become actually finding carriers. And it is not really just innovations, galore of innovations with regard to stove are there, which are affordable, and I'm willing to bet my reputation on it. Meaning, and I'm talking on the basis of some knowledge on this particular area, of this area. But the main problem has been the carrier.
It is true, sir. In fact, in this challenge, we mentioned very clearly that no patent will be filed, and we want to give training to the local, blacksmith, because we do not want a vertical market. Everything one company will give it to these people, and traders and mediators will be there. So we want to make it open source so that the blacksmith or artisan in local area, they could make and give to the people. Then only it would reach to the villages. Otherwise, if some company is selling, then you are just giving benefit to the company or to the rural people.
Prajapati Hastkala Smriti, which was set up as a part of the effort which Mansoor Bhai undertook, and I believe he has trained 100 people in this non-stick pan making machine being sold in some centers of fabricator locally, and no more people being trained. See, one of the problems with the potter is potters have been actually into ornamental items at the most, and some normal kitchenware items and so on. And they've been losing actually markets. And since they've been losing markets, their incomes are going down, and the young people don't want to take to pottery. That is one of the key problem at the moment. And if you really can add to the existing potter, and there's still large numbers all over the country, new products, innovative products, which can actually be sold, and snow will be certainly one of them. Similarly for blacksmiths, that is the case. It's actually for all traditional artisans, the problem is at the moment not having enough sufficient products for which there's a market.
Yeah.
I guess my point's a bit different. Reading the list, I mean, actually listening to the discussions, it's clear that there's loads of experience to draw on how to go about innovation and diffusion. And we see that there have been new ideas generated during the conference, and we see that on the list. But some of these ideas seem to me, it's unclear who should take the action, and they're almost require lobbying, almost like a political campaign. Maybe the sorts of activities that led to NIF in the first place, actually. So if you look at 2A, decentralized institution building, or 3N, a consortium of designers, applicators, and testers. And similarly, 6D about alternative platforms. So these all seem things that maybe require alliances or some kind of campaign. We talk about the government playing a role. So, but it's unclear what strategy there is for that. So my kind of question is what comes after the declaration on those more, what I would call political aspects. That's the first point I wanted to make. And that last one about alternative platforms, I think is really important for those innovations that don't have a commercial purpose, or may never be commercializable in conventional markets. I just think about innovations in the UK, where I live and come from, and perhaps one of the biggest innovations has been the Open University in the system of distance learning.
Yeah.
And that's built up the capabilities of people all across the country, and increasingly internationally. That's a fantastic innovation, but it never had a commercial purpose. It still doesn't have a commercial activity, despite the best intention of the government to privatise like that.
Lots of innovations are there, in fact, which you cannot commercialize. And we started a concept, grassroots technological innovation acquisition fund. The purpose of that fund was, to make these people entrepreneurs. Not entrepreneur, in fact, if they can start some small venture in their own village. So to keep these technologies in a database which is accessible to the rural youth, to the self-help group. Though we filed the patent, we did the research, it is a good technology, but we want that more and more, because scope of those technologies are there and very easy to copy also. So why not a acquisition fund can be created through which we could compensate to the innovator by paying them one-time license fee, and the technology or innovative technology can be given to n number of people at low cost or no cost basis. Because many times people want to become the entrepreneurs, but one, they do not have the technology, two, they do not have the funds. Many banks are saying that they can provide the funds. NIF is also saying that we can provide the funds, but where are those technologies? If you go to any institution, there is a technology fee. How they will pay that technology fee? So there should be a kitty of good number of technologies which are suitable to their local conditions, which they can take at 1 rupees cost. So that 1 rupee why they should get the papers in their name, legally. Or no cost also, we do not, we are not stopping. We file the patent also in those countries, but those are defensive patents, not offensive patents. Means if tomorrow a company is going to, commercialize, then we could stop them. That it is not for you, and if you want to still want to launch, but on non-exclusive basis, and then you have to pay certain fee to our innovator. So grassroots in this today's agenda, grassroots technological innovation fund is also one point where I need your attention. At the moment we are compensating very less amount we are giving to innovators, and in some cases innovators said that no, I don't want. In fact, if you want to make it open source, if it is generating the benefit for many people, then I don't want to get In some cases, innovator very interesting example from Andhra Pradesh. Innovator, he refused money. In fact, he said that now this technology is outdated. So ethically, I should not accept this money. So this values, these ethics you will find in grassroots innovators. So definitely somewhere, if we are sharing in this kind of meetings or in some newsletters or in some news items, then also it will be the incentive. In fact, we should definitely recognize those kind of innovators also. So it is GTIF is not only to make it open source, but to generate employment options, livelihood options for many people.
I think she's been trying to put her hand up for quite some time. After her, I'll speak.
Sir, this funding relating issues that Madam has rightly said, that certification. So if you cannot fund the project of the institute, then if you at least certify some of the projects that is evaluated by your team, scientific team members, then some industries have some good faith, because individual industry cannot trust on the individual basis. But NIF has given the certification, means they can trust something. So technology can be commercialized. So as for example of if I give my example, I have developed very good herbal formulation for schizophrenia. But right now I am trying to that particular technology transfer to the some industries, herbal drug industry. But they naturally they will think about the commerce first. So they will not trust individually on me. But if some projects is certified by some renowned organization, just like NIF or like that, so they can have some trust. So that is my point is that.
Yeah, no, actually, whether you want to disseminate, socially or commercially, until unless it is not tested by some, formal institution, you cannot give it to, people. In our newsletters also, when we publish any practice, we, put the references also, so that there should be a scientific basis. Whatever we want to disseminate, there should be a scientific basis of that. If it is not, documented in some literature, so first we'll, send it for validation of innovators' claim, and with that scientific report, we will publish in our. This is social dissemination. So, if in social dissemination this validation is required, then definitely if you are going to commercialize a technology, not only validation, people need a ready product. So you have to provide a sufficient data that your product is efficient, it can compete with the products available in the market. So definitely, it is required.
That is necessary, because we have to validate from every point of view, starting from the preclinical, clinical, everything. But then also, sometimes
She's talking about her product which she has developed in her laboratory. She has validated also the claims about which she's claiming that the product is
animal studies,
She's telling you that you can help. If you can help her out in giving certificate of a kind, like you are identifying her product by giving her certificate, oh, this is a good one, or quality like that kind of recognition of her product from your side, so that she can go to some industry and get it commercialized.
Can I clarify? I just wanted to clarify, Reena ji. Sir, NIF is not a certification agency. NIF is just clarifying. See, we are mandated to promote grassroots innovations, and we cannot certify innovation. There are public funded laboratories which have been set up for certification, like automobile related things. They will be certified by ARI Pune. So depending upon the kind of technology, we need to go to the right institution to get the certificate. Even if we write on a letterhead or in some way certificate we give. First of all, it is not appropriate for us to give it. And second, even if we give it, it will not be valid, because then the technology has to be validated by the appropriate agency which has been established to validate such kind of technologies.
Yeah, actually, her point is, one agency, there should be agencies which could certify, particularly in case of herbal or human health. ICMR is one agency, in fact, which can certify your product, but it is very difficult to access, individual innovators or, researchers to approach to ICMR. So there should be certain, like in agriculture, area, many certification agency, Indian Council of Agriculture Research is opening in different institutions. So it is not centralized, it is decentralized. In case of automobile, in Gurgaon there is one, in Pune, ARI is one. So likewise, because this is a big area, maximum number of scientists are working in life science. So her point is there should be a decentralized certification agencies. She may give her data also, and later if they wish they can generate some data, and based on that they can certify. She's not saying that on her data they will give the certificate. They can also generate some data, and based on that they can give the certificate. Okay, this technology is working. So maybe if not commercialization, she could be able to make it open source. Okay, this is a technology I developed, let people use it.
But for drugs, there is already a DCGI available.
But it is not accessible and a huge cost. Probably she is not conveying. The cost is also involved. In fact, if
so that certification agency is available. Question of funding.
Yeah,
In the case of drugs, there are a number of trials. First stage, second stage, there are a number of trials. Money is involved. So unless until some body is available who want to invest on that particular
DCGI is giving the license of commercialization. In fact, this is a drug actually. So
DCGI gives approval for the trials.
For the trials actually.
Then you have to conduct trials, phase-wise trials. After completing those trials, then you conclude that this is really a drug. Then somebody comes to you for purchasing that drug.
No, but DCGI is not giving certificate that your drug is good for this or this drug is not good for this.
So DCGI gives
CCI
after completion of trials.
registers on the basis of the data provided through the clinical trials, which actually are to be undertaken to the mobilization of funds, which a lab does it or an organization like firm does it, and they mobilize funds. DCGI does not provide funds. DCGI only looks at the data provided and saying whether the data provided is sufficient or not for it to be registered.
Yeah. No, actually her point is like ARI, in fact they do the testing and they give the certificate.
Can I take the first?
See,
No, that is a registration, is a certificate. DCGI certificate, once it is available, then it is marketing approval comes. Marketing approval comes. That is the certification, that marketing approval.
So it is a long run because when we
But
start
it will take time.
so it is
But drugs, that's a drug. Drugs are like product like that, where health aspect, safety aspect has to be, verified.
This talk is regarding herbal drugs.
I will tell you, I was hesitating to say because this is not a draft actually. We are being dragged. You see, I will tell you my experience. I have been working on the herbal drugs, and we found one hint from the the ethnic literature that the Calotropis procera could be used on a malaria. That was the only thing, and people have been using it, ashram salas and other things. Now, there were certain problems in using, because you can use it as such also, there is no problem. The city dwellers, they were hesitant, thinking that it is poisonous. Then there is also a constraint of the dosage and other things. And then in a city like Ahmedabad or Bombay, one has to travel at least, say, the 15-20 kilometers out of the city to collect the plants. Some people, they don't identify. Then we thought, why can't we prepare the dispensable formulation? We applied to the Department of Science and Technology. That's the proper forum for that. DST gives very good grants up to the value of nearly 3 crores for a project. We could get nearly 62 lakhs for that. We applied for that. And yeah, DPR. That's right. The only thing is that you have to find out the business partner. And business partner has to give 30% from his side only on the say the recurring expenditure. The instrumentation, they will give 100% to the institution, and institution can keep that, retain all those instruments with you, so your laboratory will also become richer. And 30% only on the recurring one. So we had a business partner from nearby a town, that is Nadia, one Janmejay Patel. He has his pharmacy, he paid that 30% and then it was given. And we worked for the 3 years, we developed a product, it's already now in marketing. And now the MOU had been signed between the DST, DPRP, and then university and that business partner. Whatever profit is generated, 2% will come to the university. So that's it. I think there is a mechanism. You can do that. Instead of going for the certification, no, even for the private DST, if your institution is 3 years old, and if you have your said that the income tax and other things and that accounts are cleared by auditor, DST will definitely fund it. That's not a big problem. So that is a proper form.
There's a recognition scheme from your private institution, that also can be done. That's not a
The point is more and more, handholdings with their.
There is a lack of awareness of the mechanism. So maybe NIM can at least in on its website can put together the such mechanism exist. Those who want to use it, at least now like here is a person who is associated with you, someone does not know. Then what mechanisms is this?
Yeah.
So myself,
For the link can be given there.
How the link can be.
So